New this morning, a man fighting for his life after a horrible collision with a dump truck. This happened on Milwaukee's south side, 21st and Morgan. Police say the car was in the westbound lane when it hit the back of an unoccupied parked dump truck. Flight for Life helicopter called in to take the man to the hospital, but we are told this morning that he is in critical conditions with head and chest injuries.
And says it's a miracle he's alive. He survived a horrific car accident 5 years ago.
And now this holiday season, he's reliving that terrible day to say thank you to the man who was the first on the scene to call for help. Carole Meekins has a story that is positively Milwaukee.
As you come back in this area, what are you thinking?
I look over there and I just can't believe it.
Carl Duskowski returns to a place where he almost died. On August 15, 1997, shortly before midnight, Duskowski reached for a pager that fell into his car floor. That's when his car plowed into the back of a huge vacant dump truck. Duskowski was in a coma for 2 days, semi-conscious for 2 weeks.
At the hospital, they told my family to say their goodbyes because they didn't expect me to live.
Today, Duskowski is back near 21st and Morgan on Milwaukee's south side. For the first time, Duskowski will meet a man who helped save his life.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Thank you.
Good to see you, Carol. Thank you. Good to talk to you, too. You look great. Looks like $1 million.
Red Simpson lives about a half block away. He was the first to arrive on the scene.
We just heard this big crash. So I looked out my living room window, and I saw this car pile up against this dumpster that was parked there. So then I left there right away. I took a look. I said, oh, well, I don't know. And I went and I asked, I said to Marilyn, I said, it's better call 911 right away.
Duskowski says the shadow of death brought him closer to God. His recovery even allowed him to continue bodybuilding competitions. After the accident, Duskowski got another blow when downsizing left him without his job in human resources. But he keeps his spirits up, teaching part-time at 2 local colleges. He credits his family for helping him through.
They always say you never know what you have until you lose it. And at that time, I didn't know whether I was going to lose them or not.
I'm inspired, and I love to motivate others.
As for Reg Simpson, he's amazed that a man he thought was probably dead is not only alive, but well.
We're thankful that everything turned out all right.
This next story is for anyone whose life has gone from bad to worse. If that hasn't happened to you, congratulations. If it ever does, remember what you're about to see. Tom Pipines with what one man did when he faced rock bottom. It's a story of hope as we go beyond the game tonight.
Meet Carole Jaskowski, an adjunct professor in human resources at Concordia University and a competitive bodybuilder for some 45 years. 3 weeks ago, Jaskowski competed in the 2015 Mr. Southeastern Wisconsin Masters event in the 60 and over division. He finished 3rd. Impressive. Miraculous when you consider that Carole Jaskowski died in an auto accident in 1997.
My car plowed behind a 27,000-pound dump truck from behind that was unoccupied. I had to be extricated from my car. It was through the grace of God that Dr. Robert Lashke on the Flight for Life helicopter inserted a breathing tube. I was intubated and brought back to life.
Even after that, the odds of Jaskowski living appeared slim.
The EMTs and the police officers that were there, they were taking bets that I wouldn't even make it to the hospital on the Flight for Life. Even at the hospital, doctors and nurses were telling my family members to say their goodbyes because they didn't expect me to live. And if I did live, I'd be a vegetable.
This award-winning bodybuilder was a shadow of himself.
I had to go through therapy, both the physical and mental health therapy, just to remember how to do things.
After months of therapy, a determined Jaskowski gained his life back. What he didn't have was his job as a human resources director. He'd been downsized.
It's like a kick in the teeth. Here I go through this accident, and then to be downsized, it's like, Lord, what you want me to do? And I start doing what I'm doing.
In addition to teaching, what Carole has been doing all these years is speaking, motivating, and inspiring others to make the journey back, sometimes against all odds, as he did.
Getting to the destination, or having that destination, is not going to make them strong. It's the journey, the things that they learn from it, the struggles that they go through.
Of course, before he could teach, Carole Jaskowski had to learn something himself.
When I first started competing, it was about winning. Winning. But now, It wasn't about getting a trophy. If I got a trophy, that's great, that's fine. But it was about seriously showing individuals that miracles do happen and to motivate them.
Last month's bodybuilding competition was Jaskowski's last. What made it special was that the doctor who brought Carole back to life after his horrific auto accident 18 years ago was in attendance. The two met for the first time. The event was held in Madison. It turns out the doctor had been living there all along.
Very overwhelmed by the fact that I would meet him. I was very overwhelmed by the things that he had to say, and I was very, very overwhelmed by the audience and how appreciative they were of him as well as the miracle that they saw standing before them.
Tom Pipines, Fox 6 Sports.
This is an interesting note. Carole still looks at video of that accident periodically just to remind himself how far he's come.
You're better than the best. I'm lucky just to linger in your light. Cooler than the flip side of my pillow. That's right. Completely unaware. Nothing can compare to when. You're better than the best. I'm lucky just to linger in your light. Cooler than the flip side of my pillow. That's right. Completely unaware.